elect credible leaders, and hand over to them. Anybody who wants to lead a political party but does not want to go through election, I think there's something wrong with that person.
Right now, Labour Party and Peter Obi are set for 2027 presidential election.
You recall that our party has been engulfed in leadership crisis since early last year, which culminated into the Supreme Court judgment of the 4th of April this year, which finally put to rest all the erroneous rulings of the lower court. It is a fact that the leaders of the party have, at various occasions, intervened to resolve the leadership crisis in the party. But these interventions failed because they fell short of the demands of the party constitution, the Electoral Act, and the highly acceptable legally mutual agreement of the parties, popularly referred to as the consent judgment of the Federal High Court, Abuja. After the last one-year tenure extension of Barrister Julius Abure-led National Working Committee in Asaba Delta State by the National Executive Council for the party in 2023, the Julius Abure-led National Working Committee, in total disregard to the party's constitution, Electoral Act, and the consent judgment, went ahead to conduct a town hall meeting at Nnewi, Anambra State on March 27, 2024, and termed it the National Convention of the Labour Party. This town hall meeting was rejected by the custodians of the party and the stakeholders because it fell short of the minimum requirement of the consent judgment of the Federal High Court, Abuja, the party constitution, and the Electoral Act of 2022, which granted the party members the right to elect delegates at the state congresses that will vote at the National Convention to elect the party leadership. Most party leaders boycotted the Nnewi Town Hall meeting because neither the party's constitution nor the Electoral Act was a contestant allowed to conduct his own election and select the voters that will vote in the election he or she is contesting. The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, duly rejected the Nnewi Town Hall meeting because it was not done in accordance with the Electoral Act, Section 83, subsection 135 of 2022, which says that, and I quote, every registered political party shall give INEC at least a 21-day notice of any convention, congress, conference, or meeting convened for the purpose of merger and electing members of its executive committees, other governing bodies, or nominating candidates for any of the elective offices specified in this act, failure of which renders such meetings, congresses, conventions invalid. The INEC has also affirmed that there was no evidence of congresses at the state level to elect delegates that will vote at the convention. All these anomalies rendered Barrister Julius Abure's alleged convention totally invalid. In order to remedy the situation, the Nigeria Labour Congress Political Commission and the stakeholders set up the National Transition Committee on the 23rd of May, 2024, last year, to midwife an all-inclusive Congress and conventions in accordance with the Federal High Court consent judgment. Though the INEC was notified, the INEC refused the recognition of the NTC, the National Transition Committee, due to the non-compliance with the party's constitution as in Article 14, Section 2B, subsection 18, subsection 14, and the Electoral Act, Section 82135 of 2022, in setting up the National Transition Committee. After June 8, 2024, the INEC declared from her record that the tenure of Barrister Julius Abure-led National Working Committee had expired, and there was no valid leadership for the party. Then, Barrister Abure went to 2 separate courts to challenge the position of INEC on Labour Party leadership and the NTC NLC for attempting to recover the party. On September 4th last year, 2024, the stakeholders met in Umuahia and set up the National Caretaker Committee of the party, which was allegedly not recognized by the INEC because, according to INEC, it was not done in accordance with the party's constitution, as again in Article 14, subsection 2, and Electoral Act, section 82135 of 2022. The National Caretaker Committee and INEC appealed to the Supreme Court, and in line with the constitutional justice, the Supreme Court nullified the erroneous rulings of the lower courts, thereby affirming the earlier position of INEC that the tenure of Barrister Abure-led National Working Committee had expired. With the expiration of the tenure of Barrister Julius Abure-led National Working Committee, coupled with the non-recognition of any other National Working Committee by INEC, as explained above, the leadership of the party's Board of Trustees, who are members of the National Executive Council with the first line of responsibility to the party, and also without any issue of non-recognition by INEC or tenure expiration, have decided to call for this special NEC meeting of the party for the purpose of reinvigorating the party. This special National Executive Council meeting is called in accordance with the party's constitution, Article 14, Section 2B, the Electoral Act, Section 8, subsection 135 of 2022, and mandatory 21 days minimum notice is complied with, a 28 days advance notice to INEC, which we actually complied with. It is noteworthy that some key stakeholders of the party are also invited to witness the proceedings of this special meeting. It is in this wise that we are welcoming all of you here so that you witness the NEC in session. It is our strong conviction that a process towards the election of a credible leadership of our dear party will emerge from this NEC meeting. Consequently, we invite all of you who are NEC members to make your contribution toward these issues that currently surround our party.
To constitute the committee, the NCC, I have not ceased going to the NLC for one consultation or the other. And I've also tried in my own way through Professor Ndubuagu to make sure that the TUC and the NLC are carried along in everything we do. And that is why when they looked at what the Labour Party is going through, how we have had one tussle or the other, how we have tried to get over this tussle so that we can organize congresses right from the ward to the National Convention and elect new leaders and hand over to them. When they noticed in their wisdom that we were having some issues, even after the Supreme Court had given verdict in our favor, they thought it wise to organize today's meeting, and I believe that by the time they put their heads together, we shall have some answers to the issues we have been going through. I must say that it's really very unfortunate that a great party like ours that has structures everywhere in the nation, there is no polling unit that you go to that you won't find either a nurse, a primary school teacher, one worker or the other that is the backbone of the Labour Party. None. There is no village, no polling unit. So I believe that if only we can get our act right, we are going to be the biggest party in this country.
Absolutely.
So, you know, those who know how to talk and talk in proverbs always say that when you see people stoning a tree, it means that that tree is laden with lots of fruits. So for the Labour Party to be going through all that we are going through is because our detractors have noticed the potentials of the party. Absolutely. And that is why they do not want to allow us to make any progress. But I want to plead with you all that the basic thing we have to lay on the ground as of today is to look at our party. How do we go back right from the grassroots to mobilize our members, have them register once more? For those who were not registered before can register. Those who are registered can revalidate their registration. Then we now go on to start having congresses from the ward level so that people who want to lead us from the ward can come, contest election, win. From there we go and have local government congresses. After that we have the state congresses. We do the zonal ones. Come and have a big national convention here, elect credible leaders and hand over to them. Anybody who wants to lead a political party but does not want to go through election, I think there's something wrong with that person. For me, as I've always said, right from the day I was announced as the chairman of the NCC, my dream is to lead a team that will make sure that these congresses and elections happen and that credible leaders take over so that our party can become the party it's meant to be. So I believe and I pray that, as we say in Hausa, so I believe that all of us coming together, particularly, you know, I like it, the fact that the BOT, if you notice, they are men of age. And what they see sitting down, we may not see it even if we climb the roof of this building. And they have gone through so much in Nigeria and have known how Nigeria works. So I believe that they will use their wisdom and wealth of experience to help to guide us in such a way that we will achieve that which we our set objectives. I want to thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to say these few words with the prayer that God Almighty will see us through and that at the end, victory certainly will be ours.